Welcome, my dear ones. Psychic Mia here from Spiritual Society, Singles Edition. Who is coming into your life next, and what are they bringing with them? We're going to take a deep dive here. We're going to find out all about this person. We're going to find out about how they might be a good match for you. We're going to find out about you, what's going on in your life. Do you have any blocks right now to love? Is there anything that we need to address? We're going to go in deep. Our mission here is to help guide you to unlock your energy through spiritual practices like tarot readings so you can live your most aligned life. Now, I want you to get very centered and focused. Feel drawn to one of these four cards, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Take your time. Take a breath. Let your intuition kick in. And go ahead and choose the card when you're ready. Welcome in, my darling card 1. Land, arrive. Singles edition. Who is coming in? What are they bringing with them? We're going to go in depth. We're going to take a look. We're going to get all of the answers, ask lots of questions. We're going to just sink right into this. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. It makes my heart happy. It makes our team happy, and it lets us know to do more content like this. Let's get started. I would like to go ahead and wait for a moment to turn this anchor card over. I'd like to get started with our black deck here. Okay. So we're bringing this in and we are asking that question. Who is coming in? What are they bringing with them? Who is coming in? What are they bringing with them? Who is coming in for you right now? What are they bringing with them? Who is coming in right now? What are they bringing with them? Let's find out all the answers that we can. All right, so we're getting started. The High Priestess. Oh, yes. Okay, and we have the Four of Wands reversed. We have the King of Swords. We have the Three of Pentacles reversed. And we have the World coming in. So we're getting a clearer picture already. We're getting this story. The story is coming out. So this man who's coming in, there is a man who's coming in. This man is strong, smart, able, capable, has a real seed of knowing, a real seed of knowledge. The swords get into this thought space, this knowing space, this clarity, this truth. And this is a wonderful king. This is someone who's sharp, who is very grounded, has a real cutting sense of intelligence, really works in that mind space, has a real masculine energy. This is some very dominant alpha masculine energy. I want to keep on, I want to keep looking and seeing what we've got coming in here. So there is something in the timing. This person, immediately what comes to me, and I'm going to read the cards as they come up because that is the best and easiest thing to do. I hate giving anything that might feel like bad, like something that isn't what you want to hear, but we're gonna walk this path and see what's coming up. So it does feel like there's a possibility that this might not turn out to be what you were hoping it would be, that you might hope it would end in wedding and romance, and not just romance, but wedding, like that kind of end result. This card is often called our 1111 card. We have the Four of Wands. This is celebratory. This gets into that wedding territory. There's some sort of victory that might be stalled out with this person, that might not make it to that space with this person. Do not lose hope, my dear one. If I am telling you something that you're like, I don't want to hear it anymore, this great, intelligent, cutting through the truth man's coming in with his alpha male energy that I want in my life, and this isn't going to lead to where I want it to go. We're going to get all the answers that you need. The universe has great things in store for you. Okay. Now, the interesting thing is that, so this man sees you in this sort of mystical way, that you have this mystery about you. You have this otherworldliness, this magical sense about you, and they see your wisdom. You are so wise. You see things in all of their shades. And this is an interesting contrast to this person with our King of Swords, who has this sort of like cleaver of truth, sort of mind of like, hey, they might even get into like very scientific things. They might think of things as being very cut and dry. And they might see you as this sort of like, I don't even understand you, because you see all these different shades in the truth. You see what lies beneath the dark and the light. You have this sense about you that is otherworldly, that is very wise, but in a very different way than this man. Now we also have the Three of Pentacles reversed. And this feels like it does relate back to our Four of Wands reversed. The Three of Pentacles, and our pentacles often get into worldly things, building something with someone in this earthly plane. This could get into money things, but, often we're talking about love here. We're talking about, this romance sort of coming in. So it feels like there's an idea of planning something of value, of architecting something to be bigger, that is also stalled out. And this makes sense for these two to be connected. It's that kind of like, oh, I want to build something into, a forever. I want to build something into a happy ever after. I want to build something into something bigger. But that is kind of stalled out. That doesn't mean that what is here is not wonderful, but it does mean that there might be some real grease that needs to be put on the wheels. And it doesn't mean that it can't transpire into something bigger, but it might really feel like it's delayed, or that it's not moving the way you wanted to go, or it is not pushing forward. That can be very, distressing and not fun. We also have the World here, though, and that is beautiful. The World is the end of one cycle, the beginning of another cycle. This is something really exquisite, and the figure in the center is often called the dancer, and she does have this vulnerability about her. She, is bare-breasted. She is, very open to the world, and there is this part of you that you've really become a very important, integral part of. They've grown a lot of feelings about you. They grow a lot of feelings about you in the space of you meeting, and they've really, there's been a moment for both of you that a cycle has ended, a new cycle has started, and they've really put you on this pedestal and turned their world around to really look at you. Their attention is so on you, and they're so in awe of you. But again, that doesn't mean that it's going to build. At least it's going to feel stalled in those moments. It's going to feel stalled out. I want to know a little bit more about this. So is this something that feels stalled out in the moment? Is this something that never goes anywhere? Is this something, these cards are pretty new still, so they're a little sticky, a little tricky. I want to know more about that. What does this mean? What does this all mean? Okay. So where does this go? What do we have here? And it looks like this person is really fighting to hold a space. They're not really moving forward. They're just trying to maintain their status quo. And that might be why they're not really planning on futuristic things, moving things forward to this end result that you want. Because they're really just sort of holding down the fort. They've got this kind of space of like, I just need things to be able to maintain where I'm at. There's this fire energy underneath of that. We're in the Wands territory here. There's a lot of growth energy there too. And I love the Wands energy, but this is very much, fighting to maintain this space. Just trying to keep it together, hold it together. I want to know more about that. I want to know more about them trying to maintain their space. Is that because they've come from something? What are these blocks? What are these things about not moving something forward? So we have the Six of Cups, and the Six of Cups gets into this nostalgic territory, something from the past. There's something that's really holding them back from moving forward. They have this deep nostalgia for something that transpired between them and someone else. It had a lot of feelings, a lot of heart space. This is the First Cups card that we're pulling here for them. And it does come back to a space of something that they haven't been able to let go of, they haven't been able to move away from, and that's very much sticky. It's really sticking to their energy. So I want to know a little bit more. I want to know if there's a possibility for you to move forward. Is this something you'd even want to move forward? I want to know if this is something that you overcome, where this is like, okay, this person is coming in and this is the path that you can know is, of where this would go with them, and, whether that's something you'd even want to participate in or not. And we have judgment. Well, and this feels like a non-answer answer from our cards. And it's coming in and saying, hey, yeah, a decision's got to be made, yeah, well, a decision does have to be made. And unfortunately, you're not going to be the one who gets to make that decision. This person's going to have to make that decision for themselves. And that is really in their court. If they're willing to do that work, if they're willing to move themselves forward, if they're willing to become the kind of person who is able to move forward and able to move on. The Ace of Pentacles coming in here though, and the Ace is bringing in new opportunities, new things coming in. And this feels like a very good omen, a very good sign of something coming through. When we were looking at our Pentacles before about building a future, building something bigger that was really stalled out, we're back in the Pentacles, something of value coming in, and something of this world, building something here of this world together. And you notice this little path here in the flower arch, and moving into this beautiful space. There is a gift coming in, an open-handed gift coming through. And I think there is something that is coming in for this person that will help them to be able to start moving forward. And in turn, they will share that gift with you as well. Something that can elevate it, that can take it farther, that can move it forward. Now, let's find out more about that, because I also do want to know, how far forward are we talking about? Is this a real progress, or it's just more sort of stalling out again kind of thing? What do we feel? What is coming through for that? And we have the Three of Wands coming in. We're back in our Wands energy. We have actually very interesting, a whole little row of Wands stacking up right here, from our Four of Wands reversed, our Seven of Wands, and our Three of Wands right beneath it. And this feels like this is saying, hey, there's going to be a lot of looking back here. This is someone who's going to be in a space of really looking back, really reviewing the past, really stuck in this nostalgic space, really stuck in what has already transpired, in the movement outside of themselves, looking far away from them. It's going to be hard for them to be in the present moment with you. It's going to be hard for them to really be in the relationship. It is going to be hard for them to be really, really right there. This could be somebody, if there's somebody that you identified with, just because we're saying, who's coming in for you, this could be somebody you already know. And this could be an evolution of where this can go. But there is something here where it is not very present. It is not very together. This figure's back is turned towards us, and that's important. And I don't love that feeling for you. Even if gifts come with it, and I'm not talking really worldly gifts so much, and it could be, but this kind of openness and this value add of you are precious to me, you give value to my life. There is something very special and unique about you. Those kinds of gifts coming in, even with those, you still need somebody who's really, who's really with you, and you deserve that. You deserve everything. You deserve all of the good things. And it is important to be precious with your heart, with your time, with your love, with your energy. Okay. And we have the Knight of Pentacles coming in. Now this is interesting. Okay. Now, okay. I do feel like there is a piece of this path where this could, if they make their choices, they make their judgments, if they can pull themselves, from spending too much time in that past, if they can work that path and that growth, there is a part of them that wants to show up in this, they have this real seed of manliness, right? This knowingness. This person might even have those moments where that shows up in I know what's right. The way that I'm handling my emotions, that's right. This way is right. The way I'm handling my past, that's right. Where they might be very hard to change. It might be very difficult to have that, that ability to really sort of okay, they think they know what they know. And sometimes that can make it very difficult. They could also, have these moments of incredible open-mindedness. But this is interesting because this feels like this sort of more youthful version of them, this slightly less ingrained, less seated in their throne version. It's more of a journey showing up, comes in and is like, though, I am going to be reliable. I am going to show up. I'm going to keep showing up. I am going to offer this thing in a slightly more tenuous way. It's not as dominant masculine. It's not as ferocious. And it is a little more, not underrated, a little bit more of like an undertone. That's not the right word I'm looking for either. But a little bit softer entrance of like, okay, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see what I can do. I'm gonna see what I can give, and I'm gonna see how I can show up and be here and do this. Understated. That's the word I was looking for. Understated way of showing up and being. I love our Knight of Pentacles. Our Knight of Pentacles is is beautiful. This is that showing upness, that continuing to be there, the desire to to be consistent, to be the rock, and without flash, without pomp and circumstance, without like doing cool tricks while they're doing it, but in a very human way, of just a very real way of, I wanted to see what I can do here. And here I am to try to do this, which I love. Okay. Whew, and we have the Five of Swords. And their Five of Swords is a little bit of a brutal card here. And this feels like something that's sharp underneath, that is kind of just waiting. And it feels like it's kind of waiting for them. This doesn't feel like a part of them that's ready to turn on you so much. And it's possible it could, but it's really aimed at them. That there is some part of them and their psyche that is like torturing them a little bit, that makes them, brutalizes them a little bit, makes them feel like, hey, I'm gonna, sort of stick this in over and over again. And those little attacks from their own psyche, from the past, from things that have happened, but really coming from themselves to themselves, sort of keeps showing up. And it feels dangerous for them. And that feels like something that they need to handle really in order to fully move forward. That makes it very tricky. It's like another little tricky blocked spot for them. Ooh, my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, a lot going on with this person. I would love to know more about what's going on with you in your life. So first of all, we can ask more questions. Don't you worry. But I want to take a look at what's going on with you. What's going on with you in your world? I just want to pull cards without really putting anything on top of it. I just want to know what we need to know about you right now. What do we need to know about you right now? Okay. Hi, Knight of Swords. Hi, Chariot. Well, hi, King of Wands. Oh boy. My goodness gracious, aren't you just full of surprises? Okay, we've got some very powerful, fast-moving energy in your world. Oh my goodness, we got the Ace of Swords. I'm gonna pull, I've got a little, now my pink cards are my slippery cards, and they like to do whatever they like to do. So I always just let them. All right, and we have the Tower. Hi. Okay, my gorgeous pink cards. I'm going to just move you out of the way for a second while we explore what's unfolding here for you. Oh my goodness, we have got some real energy coming in for you. My word. All right, let's start at the beginning. We have the Knight of Swords. We have the Chariot. We have the King of Wands. We have the Ace of Swords, and we have the Tower. Boy, oh boy, oh. So first of all, what I'm seeing, now our Knight of Swords, we're pulling for this person who's coming in and what they're bringing with them. And we start with the King of Swords for them. The Knight of Swords is starting us over here with you and what's going on in your world. So it does feel like there is someone who is sort of rushing into your life. This could be this person. We've got, we've got some similarities, we've got some alignments. This is a very fast moving energy, and this person's energy does feel very grounded and stable. Even if it's not, fully where we want it to be perhaps, but every person is a person, every human's got their human stuff. Now, this person there's some very fast moving energy coming in for you. So if there's not somebody in right now, there is someone sort of sweeping through. I don't know if this is someone you're interested in or not. This might be something where you kind of write it off, where you're like, oh yeah, I'm not taking them seriously, or they just, they're going to be in and out in 2 seconds if I invite them into my life, or, that kind of energy where there is just something so fast about this and so intense about this energy. And this is an interesting energy that's kind of riding through, and it's strong enough that it's popping up in our pools for you. So there is something strong popping up around here. And this is something you just be aware of. I'm not saying don't go with it. I'm not saying go with it. I think this is interesting. Now, what we do get really interesting though here is our third card pull is our King of Wands. But let's go ahead and start with the Chariot. Because the Chariot is this fast moving energy. I feel this could be connected to love and romance. This could be connected to career. This could be connected to your personal goals. There is something, and this could just be your life right now, where you are ready. You are, so ready. I really wanted to curse just now, but I didn't because this is going on YouTube and I don't want to be censored. But ooh, you are so ready. You are riding in so fast, so fierce. There is something that is just about to, if it isn't already, you might be picking up momentum right now. Maybe you've had momentum. This feels like it's a momentum that's riding in for you. So I don't know that you're there yet, but it feels like you're about to start running. And when you start running, it's going to be very hard to stop you. And it is going to be, hey, I'm taking action on this thing that I've been thinking about, and I am moving forward. And it's this confidence that you're like, wow, I'm just stacking up the confidence points. I didn't even know I was so confident. I'm feeling so confident in this area. And things just feel like they are clicking in. And like the momentum is like building, and you don't slow down for anyone. There is nothing that makes you want to slow down. You are, you smile, you wave. Hey, good to see you. I'm on my path and got to keep going. And you just fly right by. You fly and you're on your path. And it is fierce and ferocious and wonderful. And it feels extremely energized. I love that energy for you. The King of Wands is popping up here, and this is something I find very interesting. This feels like a totally different energy that's coming in than this person. So this person, as this person is coming in, this probably has a deeper path that feels more like they're willing to sort of vocalize, ask you out, do the things, whatever it is that puts them more on a path to be committed, like I'm going to really test this out and try this out for, in a real way. And our King of Wands is popping up here. And because our King of Wands didn't find their way over here, either they're coming in after this person, or this is somebody who's already in. This could also be someone who is coming in, but they don't have the same kind of like, I'm going to vocalize, I'm going to say. But this is someone who has their eye on you. This is someone whose interest is on you. They are also a very masculine presence. They would be a wonderful partner as well. This is a wonderful fire person. This is someone who is very action oriented, has a lot of just like an awe of what you are doing in your world and how you're doing it, and is really taken with that, but also performs the same way in their world, which is part of why they respect it and like it so much. The Ace of Swords coming in with our new opportunities for clarity. So there is going to be a big aha moment for you where you see a truth that you didn't see before, and it's important. It's important. It's something that's going to really sort of light up your path of like, this is where I need to go. This is what I should be actually focusing on. I need to focus on these things. And there is something very royal about this too. this really opens up some doors for you. There's something where this really gives you an enlightenment and a truth about something. And there is a big change on the way. So whether this big change is something you're going through right now, which it very well could be, or this is something that's really on the horizon for you, it might feel really disgruntling. It might feel like, ooh, a little earthquake style. Like, I don't love this. This doesn't feel comfortable, but it is going to be a good thing for you. It's something that will burn away what needs to be burned away. It will take away the things that are not serving you. I do feel a little bit of, a little bit of pain associated with this, a little of that change pain. Making changes is hard. Anything changing in your life and in your world is difficult. That is hard. It's uncomfortable. And there is a little bit of that energy in there of like, hey, I kind of want to, that child feeling of, like I just want to sort of sit down and cry because this feels a little like frustrating because things are changing and I don't, it doesn't feel comfortable, but it is good. Ooh, all right. I want to pull some more cards for you. So I want to pull some cards about, first of all, I want to pull some cards for this King of Wands. What do we need to know about that King of Wands? Well, now, even though that King of Wands is not coming in the same kind of fast way that this Knight of Swords is coming in, like this is very fast moving energy from that person. Underneath it all, this King of Wands does have a very fast moving energy. So if you did end up walking down a path with this King of Wands, you would end up moving very quickly with them. And some of these pieces over here that feel stalled out, you would probably not have that with this person because not only is it very fast moving, but it is also easy. You get to just go with the flow. You lean in. You don't have to muscle your way through it. It's not going to be so much work. You don't have to worry quite so much about, are they going to decide? Aren't they going to decide? What's going on? What's going to happen? Okay. There's a lot of masculine energy coming up here. There's a lot going on here. Now we also have the Justice card popping up, and it feels like there's something that you felt like it wasn't fair, and you're about to get an answer for that. So that feels like it's a kind of separate thing. And this could be something that was related to a past love, a past heartbreak, and your answer to that is kind of in the getting to meet or getting to know this new person or persons that are coming in where you're like, okay, I got it. I understand. It feels fair now. It's not like I get that closure that I really needed. Okay, so actually I want to keep on moving. I want to ask about, first of all, any blocks for you? Are there any blocks for you? Is there anything that's coming in for you as like a major block that's going to keep you from being able to level up, move up with your life, but with really in love with the right person that comes in? Okay. The Two of Swords comes in. We get a very clear answer from the cards. Thank you very much. And the Two of Swords comes in to tell us, hey, you know what? Not making a decision, that's making a decision. So you either don't make a decision and circumstance decides for you, or you make a decision and it's yours. So whatever you might be purposefully blinding yourself to and not deciding about, that's important for you to know. Now, you can absolutely decide not to decide, and you can just let, circumstance take its way. But it is important for you to know that you're making that choice, because that is still a choice. Remember, I'm asking about blocks to love here. So, really, if we're getting this, that's coming up as a block to love. So not deciding really is coming up as something that can be blocking you. Temperance is also coming up as a block. And this is sort of a common block. This is something being out of alignment, something being off balance, being really, this could get into you having really intense coping mechanisms or distraction techniques, or this gets into sort of all of our modern day things: binge watching TV, eating too much food, doing one thing way too much, obsessing over this thing, whatever that, whatever this thing is. And I'm sure you probably immediately are like, I know what that is. This is coming up as a block for you for love. So even if you feel like that thing is not associated to your heart or to romance, the cards say, hey, nah, it is. So we're going to have to pay attention to that. So whatever you're kind of like deep diving on in any way, wherever you're like really out of balance, and that could go to something that feels healthy. That could be like, oh, hey, I'm swinging way too hard into my work life, which could be fine. But also, you know, like, because I want you on that chariot. I want you on that ride. I love that. But you just have to make sure that wherever you might be out of balance, it, you know, it feels good to you. That, you know, and TV is fine too if it feels good to you. If something feels like it's out of balance, if it doesn't feel good to you, if it doesn't feel good to your intuition, that's where I want you to pin that little pin. Like you're like, oh, okay, I know, it's this thing. That doesn't feel good. That doesn't feel like it's leaving me as the person I want to be. That's what I want for you. I want you to feel like you are being the person that you want to be. I'm staying with your blocks because these are important. So the 10 of Cups is coming up as a block. And the 10 of Cups is kind of a happy ever after card. And this feels like it has a ton of feeling. It has a ton of emotions. Great card. Coming up as a block to love, it feels like you have had this feeling before. You've had a feeling of like, hey, I could build my family with this person. Hey, this is my happy ever after. Hey, this is how I want to spend my life. This feels like home. This is not letting you move forward. That feeling that you've been in before, something that's felt like, hey, this has so much feeling and emotion for me. It's a card of completion, feeling like, hey, I've arrived. Sorry, I'm saying hey a lot. I don't know what that's about, but that feeling of being like, hey, oh, I almost did it again, and then I tried to change it a little bit. That feeling of being like, this is it. This is the thing. Here we go. And then maybe being really disappointed, maybe really being let down by it not being the thing and not being it, feeling like, you know, stuck in that old space. And this could be something that you don't acknowledge as a problem or a block to love. This could be something you're like, that's in the past. That's not a thing for me anymore. But sometimes what we are using as a coping mechanism is hiding that as well. So all of these things, the distraction techniques can keep us from making our decisions that we need to make, doing the difficult things, facing the uncomfortable things, facing the things we might need to mourn or grieve or let go of, or that we need to acknowledge as like, hey, this is something that is keeping me from wanting to move forward at all. Ooh, take a breath for me there. I'm just going to collect up a little bit of that energy and just gently sort of move it out of the way. You don't have to hang with that energy right now. And you don't have to, you know, cut any ties that you don't want to cut. You don't have to do any of that stuff. But yeah, just breathe. Breathe for a second. Yeah. You're good. You're here. You're safe. I'm happy to be here with you. I appreciate you being here with me. I want to know a little bit more about what's best for you. So really, I kind of want to step into asking about these men coming in. So first I want to ask about our King of Swords. What do we need to know about him? Is this like somebody who is now our pink cards, as they just tell us what they want to tell us. They give us what they want to give. So we're asking about our King of Swords here. And the Magician pops out for us, Magician reversed. And the Magician is a Master Manifestor card. This card can have anything they want. This card has the ability to make it all happen, has all of the potential, but it is reversed. So maybe action is not being taken. Maybe things are not coming together. Maybe things are... And I find it so interesting that this is a reversed card. When, you know, we were pulling up those reversed cards here, it has that same feeling. Like this could have momentum. This could all come together, but it's not. But they are choosing not to, and that is their choice. They have to be the one who makes that decision. Doesn't mean they can't. They could make that judgment decision. They could come in and ride in and be consistent and show up. But I want you to choose as wisely for yourself as you can. And there is no lack mentality here, right? We've got masculine energy dropping in from all sides for you. So not only that, but your ferociousness, your chariot energy, everything you're bringing to the table, your ability to handle this change, even if it's uncomfortable, your willingness to sit into it, it all tells me that there would be no shortage of energy coming in for you. So we don't have to try to force anything to be it. We can follow the right path for you because that energy is dropping in all over the place. And the universe has your back. Okay, now I am asking about our King of Wands. What do we need to know about our King of Wands? I'm going to close my eyes if I do anything really weird or cards fly out anywhere. And, oh, that's weird. We got the Six of Cups, which isn't really weird, but it's only weird because it's a duplicate card from our other person. So it's a totally different energy. Made me immediately think of the card we pulled over here for this person who is, that nostalgic old relationship with a lot of feelings. Now, this, on the other hand, this feels like this might be somebody from your past coming back around. And that is interesting. So, while this person might be stuck in their past, you might be this thing for that person, for this person. Well, you're going to have to let me know if that sounds right to you. Let's pull a card for our Knight of Swords just to see what lies under there. I'm really curious about this energy. Once again, I'm closing my eyes. If I do anything weird, cards fly out at me. Okay. Here, yeah. And the Six of Wands pops up. This person feels like, who knows with this like deep potential is here, but it certainly feels like, this person's got some winning energy. They've got some real, like it would be fun. It would be enjoyable, and it would feel like a confidence booster. This person could be even younger or like a different age or something than you. Like there's something about this that feels like more in the fun territory. This would be like fun, but it would all like there's this like winning energy about this person, and there would be this winning energy about being with this person. And that gets into some spicy fire energy too, but it is a real winning sort of vibe going on. So I'm not upset with that. My goodness, I could go on for like another hour. We could full dive in there. We could do full dive into our King of Wands. There's no end. If you would like to do a deeper dive, there is a link below so you can do that. Let's pull over our anchor card. So this was the first card that we pulled. It is a separate deck. It could be a duplicate card. There's always that potential. And we have the Six of Pentacles reversed. Interesting. We have the Six of Pentacles reversed. And this feels like this card comes up and it's a giving and a receiving card. And it feels like it slides into some of that stuck energy that we have over here, where there might be something even right now. If this person is in your world right now, or even when things are just getting started with this person, it might feel like it's not a give and take. It's not an easy, it's not an easy lean in and let it flow kind of thing, which is what it would feel like over here with our, Eight of Wands coming in with this King of Wands. There's no easy give and take here. So I do think you'll be very aware of what this is coming in, and if it doesn't feel right, that it's gonna feel like a bit of work, and it's gonna feel like like it, and that might be part of the enjoyment for you. There might be a part of you that's pulled back into your old blocks, that like doesn't even is kind of choosing something that you might even feel like, hey, I don't think this could be it all, because look how hard it is to get what I want from this person. So let's just play and try to get what I want from this person and see what happens. And the more you try, the more you actually want it, kind of thing. So be careful there. This feels like a little tricky territory to me, but I'm gonna let you make your decisions. You follow your path and your energy. Your deep intuition knows. You've got a deep seed of knowing. My goodness, boy, I wanna let's put a running person, like a running woman or a running man or any like sort of running figure for this chariot energy. It's just that sprinting energy, sprinting in. You are on fire. You are just, there is this momentum coming for you. If it's not in your life already, it is just like a wave right behind you that's just gonna like whoosh and off you go for that energy. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Sending you so much love and so much light to support you on this glorious journey you are on. I love you. Okay. Until I get to see your precious self again. Mwah. Mia. Welcome in my card too. Welcome to Singles Edition. Who's coming into your life right now? What are they bringing with them? We're going to find out all of the answers. We're going to do a nice deep dive, find out everything you need to know about everything. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. It means the world to me, to our team, to everybody here, but also it lets us know to keep doing more content just like this. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start with their energy. This is a pretty new deck, so it is a little fussy. He doesn't really want to shuffle for me very well, and that is okay. I'm all right with that. We're gonna see what's popping up in this energy field right now. Okay. Okay, let's see what's popping up for this person. So we're going to leave this anchor card to flip over to the end. And we're going to get started over here on the right with this separate deck. Now, every time I use a separate deck, we always have the ability to be pulling duplicate cards. So that's always good to know. I love that because I love synchronicities. I love seeing what's popping up. We have the Ace of Swords. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Oh my, oh my, oh my. We have the Eight of Pentacles. We have the Tower popping up. This right away, something feels very strong that's coming in. Something that feels very, very strong. It feels good. The aces bring in new opportunities and new things. Now the swords bring in clarity, truth, knowledge, insight, that kind of like aha moment. Oh, I understand. I've got a new clear understanding of what it is that I want. This person is coming out of a place of epiphany, but it's not just this person coming out of this place of epiphany. It feels like the clouds breaking for both of you. It feels like this person is just coming out of this like what just happened? What is going on? Now, this person doesn't have to be somebody totally new to you. This could be somebody who's in your life already. This could be somebody that you're seeing already, but you're just, you're kind of like keeping all your options open or whatever it is. But whatever is happening here, and we'll get more details on this person so you know if this is what we're talking about or if it's something that's coming in down the road that's not here for you yet. But this is going to be like a cloud opening kind of feeling, like, whoa, something new is coming in for both of you. And it feels good. And it feels like, oh, of course I knew this. I always knew this. This is what I've always known. This person also is going to make you feel like this sort of powerhouse version of yourself that is, our Queen of Pentacles is motherly, is nurturing, is kind, is giving. They see all these beautiful qualities in you. You grow people around you. You are growth oriented. But not only that, you can take care of yourself. They respect that and love that about you. That you can take care of yourself. You can take care of the people you love. There's something so solid, so capable. I love these Pentacles cards coming through because these are very solid. They're very consistent. They're very show up cards. This Eight of Pentacles coming in as well. I love this card. I love pulling this in a relationship reading. This is that like consistency. This isn't flash in the pan kind of feel. It's not, like, hey, let's just have fun and go our separate ways. This is, I'm showing up, and I'm going to show up tomorrow, and I'm going to show up the day after that. And I see the value in this, and I see the value accruing in this, and I love that, and I want that. I'm willing to work for this. And it doesn't even feel like work. It feels like fun. It feels like, oh, this is what I want to be accruing. This is what I want to be getting. This is what I want to be investing in. And that is a great word for this card. It is that investment. This is an investment, that there's time being invested. There's energy and effort being invested. There is someone who's truly like committed. showing up, routine about it all. Now the Tower comes in, and the Tower brings with it great change. This makes perfect sense to come in with a new person. And not just with a new person, but especially if this is a big thing. This feels already like this could be a big thing, that there's something, that feels like, ooh, these first cards are feeling very strong. They're feeling very good. And with a big thing coming in, it does kind of shake up your world. It does change everything. The Tower is a card of change. It does feel uncomfortable, even with good change. Old things get, earthquaked out. Old things get burned down. Things have to change. Things have to be destroyed a little bit. There is a little destruction that happens in that of, hey, the old thing's got to be destroyed. Now we can sweep it out the door. There is a feeling of some big change coming. And that can even just be the big change of this person in your life. You could be going from a routine that doesn't include this person to a routine that is including this person all the time. And there could be some pieces of that feel very, like shifting and uncomfortable, that could feel a little displacing. Let's keep on pulling cards. I'm not ready to ask any new questions yet. Okay, I think I'm ready to ask new questions. We keep getting these beautiful good cards. I'm seeing that this can go to a really good place. Our tens of cards of completion. We have the 10 of wands here. This is a bring it home card. Hey, what you're working hard for, you're going to finish, and you're going to take this all the way home. Sometimes it might not feel like that, but it is right on the precipice, and you're just walking it in. This is like you already hit the home run. You just got to run the bases. This feels good, and it feels like, hey, I'm really making progress here with something, and it feels good. What I'm working for and what I'm working hard towards is happening, and it's coming together exactly the way that I want it to. Now, I would like to know how you're going to know who this person. I want to know like some characteristics of this person, so you know this person when they're showing up and what to expect. And the Death card pops up. This is not the place we would expect that. This is where we're like expecting like one of our kings to pop up or something. Now the Death card pulling in here feels like there's going to be a really big ending for something. And I know that I'm really reading in their card energy. I'm really like pulling things from their card energy, but I am asking this question about you. How will you know when they pop up? I want to know about them so that you know when they've popped up. Now this person, it feels like they're going to have gone through a big change, like something. They could have just completely left a job. Maybe they got divorced. Maybe they're, just transitioning out of a relationship. Maybe there's something that is a huge life change that they've had to completely, die to and resurrect themselves as something else, that there's a new life starting, because they've had to let go of something really big. There's a really big departure for them. And that is one way that you are going to know that this is it. This is that person. Continuing. Now we also have the Page of Cups. So I love this because this feels like a soft entry for this person. And it tells us, hey, this person has got a great sense of humor. They also use their sense of humor in their love language of the way that they show their feelings and emotions, or cups getting into feelings and emotions. These pages are kind of these youthful messenger cards. So this person might have a really buoyant, like young sense about them. I don't think this is saying anything about their age whatsoever. But that sort of youthful quality of like bantering, making jokes, playing, that playfulness, something that feels like, especially coming out of this space of something completely changing and ending for them, this kind of like softness. They can bring this kind of like soft joviality in with them. So that's another way that you will know them. Continuing on, I want to know a little bit more about how you're going to know this person. And we have the 9 of Cups coming in. And this makes me happy. So the 9 of Cups, the cups again, bringing feelings and emotions. This is kind of like a genie card. It is kind of like a wish fulfillment card. So there is something that you've always imagined your person would have or be, or, this could be a physical characteristic. This could be a profession. There is something here where things are just going to be like checking the boxes, where you're like, wow, this person is really all of the things. This person is really, and absolutely things you didn't expect as well. This is going to be a fun discovery and adventure too, but there are some things that are going to be telltale signs for you of like, yeah, that's what I wanted. That's exactly what I wanted. That's exactly what I wanted. Someone who can, have these feelings and emotions with me. This someone who has this, that they look exactly the way that I want them to look. Whatever that thing is, whatever those things are, they will be little hits from the universe of like, yep, that's your person. Yep, check. Okay, now I would like to know a little bit about any blocks that might be coming up for this person, for you, for love. So we'll get to your blocks in a little bit, but I want to know if there's anything that might be blocking you guys from moving forward that we need to know about. Okay, we have the Five of Swords. This makes perfect sense coming in for a block. There's swords get into the mind space, intelligence space, thought space. This is kind of a brutal card. So there is something that perhaps they got out of a relationship with someone who is sort of almost mentally abusive, someone who like used words like a knife, they've come from some area where there was some brutality to it. It doesn't have to be love area. This could be a work environment. I would connect some dots here with this death card, that there's something here that they've had to die to, but they also had to die to it because it was really unhealthy for them. It wasn't a good situation. It didn't feel good. It was ruining them, and it was brutal. It was cold and sharp and painful and not the kind of life that they wanted to have for themselves. Now that is coming in for a block, so there's a potential that, that there's parts of them that are closed off, that there are parts of them that are afraid. There could be parts of them that also have triggers around certain things, where certain things remind them of this old, brutality that they've faced previously. I would like to pull one more card for blocks for them if there's anything we need to know about what could be blocking them. If there's anything blocking them from moving forward. And we have the Nine of Wands, and this just feels like a confirmation card in a different way. So our Nine of Wands really gets into this space of being hurt. We've got this wound, this feeling of they've been hurt. They have been, like bonked over the head, and they are in a little bit of a protective space for themselves where they're getting back up into the fight. They've decided they want to re-engage. They're not ready to give up. They're definitely going to get back into this, but there is something that's a little skittish about them. It's that kind of, the dog that's, been abandoned kind of feeling of, it's going to take a little bit of patience. So there could be a little bit of hesitation in these, in these moments where there could be moments where you might just have to, I've said this before in a reading, but I feel like I've seen this sign. Maybe this person kept this sign up for a long time, but there was a sign for a missing dog who and the person had put a photo of the dog, and it said call this number, and it said don't run to the dog. It said don't chase, walk slowly. If you see this dog, don't chase them because they'll run. Just be patient, put your hand out, that kind of thing. And it just feels like so related that this might be the space where you can't run hard with this after this person. Even if you say like, this is the person, I know it is, you might have to do that, like, okay, you can sniff my hand first. I'm not gonna hurt you. Like this can go as slowly as this needs to go. I'm just here. I'm just human. I'm safe. Okay. I would like to know about the potential. Like, what do we have here in the cards for this energy, for this potential? I feel very strongly about where all this is getting started. Hi, Knight of Cups. I like it. So right away, when we're asking about potential, our Knight of Cups comes up, and our Knight of Cups is this Beautiful, wonderful masculine energy that comes in though with a very full heart and a lot of feelings and emotions. It is a softer ride in. It is not thundering through. It is not a crazy fast energy that's moving at you. It is a little bit softer. It is a little bit more, like we're just gonna walk this on in. But boy, is it real, and boy, does it have a lot of feeling and emotion, and is it authentic? It feels very good. So I like this answer. I would like to pull one more card with that same exact question coming out here. Oh, interesting. And we have the Ten of Pentacles reversed. Now, this is interesting for this to pop up reverse. We're asking for potential. So this feels extremely strong, but there is still potential here for this to not fully come to fruition the way that we want it to, or for it to stall out somewhere. And that makes absolute perfect sense, because nothing is ever a 100% sure thing. We have two human beings who have their own human being autonomous decision making selves, and anytime that we can make our own decisions, there is always fate is in our hands. We can change things, we can move things. Things are pliable. So with that, there is also this potential that things could get stalled and stuck. Like, yes, there's this amazing potential for a future together where everything comes together. Our Ten of Pentacles is a great sort of happy family, generosity, generational wealth kind of feeling card. And we can sort of remove the wealth from that a little bit. And, like, it doesn't have to be financial. This can really get into the wealth of having family, the wealth of love, the wealth of value. But it can also get into the financial there. But it could have that potentiality where it's like, oh, it has so much potential here. There's so much that could come together. Everything could come to completion. But it just kind of can't turn over the right way. It just kind of can't find its footing and fully anchor in and be that. Somebody could have a problem moving forward. Somebody could not let go of the past. That could be you. We're going to take a look at your cards here in just a second. But there is that potential here, and that makes sense to pop up. That doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. These cards feel very strong and good. This feels very strong and good to me, so I would like to put that out there. But of course there is that potential as well. Let's move to you. I would like to move to our pink deck so we can take a look at you and your energy and what is going on in your world. Clear your energy for just a second. Let yourself, these are my slippery cards. All my cards have their own personalities. So my slippery cards love to just like randomly, do their own thing, slip out, do all kinds of crazy little movements. They're my acrobats. And I'm going to let them do what they want to do. I always do. So let's see what you've got going on. Okay. Oh my, hi. We have the Hierophant. We have the Knight of Wands. We have the Three of Pentacles. We have the Two of Wands. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. So I'm really not asking any questions here. This is really just me asking about what's up in your energy. So I'm not necessarily asking about this person. I'm not necessarily asking about romance. I just want to see what's up with you. What's going on? What do we need to know about what's up in your world? Now this is interesting. So first of all, the Hierophant pops up. This is the first card we pull for you. So there is some part of you, I feel like right now, that is wisdom seeking, that you're seeking some higher knowing. Maybe you're reaching out to some specific people to do that. Maybe you're following down some specific paths. This could get into education, where you're educating yourself about something, taking a class on something, going through school about something. This can get into religiosity. This can also get into spirituality, and this can also get into societal, norms, things where you really want to be on this specific path that everybody else feels like they're on. You want to have the thing that all the movies are made about, or something like that. So there is something going on in your world that's sort of like following either some prescribed path, or you're following the wisdom trail to figure out some sort of enlightenment or some sort of path. So there is something that's like seeking something in here for you. Now, our Knight of Wands pops in, and our Knight of Wands is a fun card. Now, this does not feel like this is our person's energy over here. So I would like to point out that there are very likely two different masculine energies coming in for you, and you might have to make some choices and decisions about where you want to go with this. If you want to do a deeper dive when we get to the end of this and you want to find out more information, there's a link below to do that. But the Knight of Wands really gets into, the Wands are this fire energy. This is like a fast moving energy. This is fiery. This is passionate. This could be someone who is coming in who is like, oh, you are so good looking. I'm so attracted to you. And the physical chemistry between you could be just absolute fire. And they might just be so much fun and like so adventurous and so lit up and so on their path and still sort of figuring themselves out and, figuring out where exactly their direction might be going romantically, but probably in their career or their passion or their purpose, they might be really on that path. So this feels like a separate energy. I will come back around to pull a little bit of some information on this person so you can get a little bit better of it would be nice to know if this person's just sort of a, drive-by kind of person, let's have a little fun and bye. Or if this is somebody who really genuinely would want to be around for a long time. My personal feelings dip towards this person over here. You get to make all your own decisions. You are your own grown up. You are your own human being. But we're gonna find out we'll get some more answers. Now we also have the Three of Pentacles popping up over here. So there's also something about you and I'm asking what's in your energy right now. So there's something about you this is like an architectural building card around worldly goods, money, finances. And I do think we're getting into worldly goods. Now, anything of this earth, this could be your physical health too. This could be, you want to get on a new workout routine or food routine, or there is something that you're changing right now, or you're figuring out the structure of how to build it. And that could be your financial planning. That could be, anything in there. And I which is fantastic. Do seek out the help of people who are really good at it, who already are doing it, preferably professionals if possible, because that's going to help you truly architect whatever it is you're working on building. Now we have the Two of Wands, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So there's also, this could get into travel if you're thinking about traveling right now, adventuring out, also just seeing the world from a more bird's eye view of you're seeing a bigger picture of what you want for your life and how you want to create your life and how you want things to roll out for you. This also feels like a little call to say, hey, whatever you're doing right now, be brave, be courageous. You're doing great. Be brave, be courageous. You're doing great. Step in, adventure forward, do the thing. Be brave, be courageous. You're doing great. Feel free to say that to yourself as much as you like in the coming days. The Wheel of Fortune also pops up, which is hey, you're gonna have some really good luck coming up. So there's some good luck energy in your world. So that could be showing up right now. That could be showing up in the near future, but just expect things to work out for you because they're going to be. Just expect everything is gonna come together. You're gonna be like, wow, that was so lucky. Oh my goodness, how am I the luckiest person in the world? I got this opportunity. I got this thing. I've got the attention of these men. I've got just luck after luck after luck. So fortunate. And that energy is just going to be raining on in. So enjoy it. Let it rain in. Let it be there for you. Now I would like to specifically ask, all right, before we ask about these two different people, especially this person, I would really like to ask about any blocks you might have for love right now, because that's a really important question that is going to be very important for you moving forward in love. at all. So let's see if there are any big blocks coming up for you. Holy macaroni. Well, we've pulled our Queen of Pentacles. I love our duplicate cards, as I said. Totally separate deck, so we can pull those duplicate cards. High Queen of Pentacles, second card we pulled over here for this person. This is popping up as a block for you. So this is very interesting. Now, I feel like this could go two different ways, and I'm not sure which way it is. I can't fully feel that. Either there is a part of you that feels like you have to live up to a certain expectation of being a certain kind of woman, certain kind of person that you do not actually feel like you possess. Like you might be putting a mask on to be like, hey, yeah, I'm super capable. Look, aren't I nurturing? I have all these mothering qualities. I financially take care of myself and everyone else, like all of these sort of things where really you're like, no, I don't feel like I have a handle on any of that at all. And so this is actually acting as a block for you, which feels like it can get very directly to being a block for this person. Or this is something you're actively working on, which makes sense, my Three of Pentacles, the thing you are architecting. Whatever that thing is that you feel like, hey, I'm doing my financial planning, I'm on my new workout routine, I'm figuring this thing out. This could be a block for you to fully and I'm not saying that this thing is so important for you, because you're worthy regardless. You're worthy as you are, but you're being able to feel worthy and competent and confident and yummy, yummy, yummy. That fully possession, that like fully self-possessed woman, that fully filled out, fledged version that like, I've got this, I've got the confidence of this. This is something I own. This is something I know how to do. That can be a block for you to love, even if it has nothing to do with love. If, it could be a whole rabbit hole of things that, feeling like, my finances are out of control could feel like, hey, I just lead you down a rabbit hole of being defensive in a way that doesn't allow itself to be in a really strong relationship. Same thing with if it got into the physical body or beauty. If you felt like I don't own this, I don't feel beautiful, I don't feel good in my body, or whatever that is, it could lead you down a rabbit hole of feeling like you can't be loved. But whatever that thing is, you keep hammering away at this. Get the tools you need. Find the people that you need to build this and craft your plan with, because that's important. That's important. This is a block for love that's coming up, and it feels important. I assume always that every card we are pulling is important, even if it feels like a small card. Small steps are not unimportant. If there's a small step that pops up, that could be a little linchpin. That could be something that's like the last puzzle piece. It could be something that is very important. And so I like viewing the cards that we could be pulling anything. We're pulling these cards for a reason. They're coming up for a reason. So there is no small card or small thing. Now, the Six of Wands is also popping up. So you are winning in some aspect. There is something. Oh no, that's not what I was asking. I was asking about blocks, and this is coming up as a block. So I was not just reading in your energy. Now, honestly, here, I'm going to tell you, because in my mind, I was just, pulling a card for you. I was not pulling my mind back to the energy of a block. But here's what I'll tell you about this card. So we pull the Six of Wands. Six of Wands tells us it's a winning card. It is a fiery, yummy winning card. So if this was coming up as a block, it could be that you are not winning at something you want to be winning at, that it could be very frustrating for you. There's something that's just not happening. It's not... You're not the champion of it. You don't feel like the winner of it. Now, otherwise, I would be saying that you are winning at something in your life right now. Now, I'm going to kind of just put this card on pause. I'm going to let you decide what sounds more right to you. But I am going to go ahead and pull a separate deck. Hold on 2 seconds. Okay, so really I'm just pulling in this gold deck here because I want to get... I just want to have all the cards available, including the Six of Wands, to pull your next block. And then we'll go back to our pink deck. So I just want to go ahead and blocks for love for you if there's anything we need to pull here. And if we pull the Queen of Pentacles again. Okay, we have the Fool. This makes a lot of sense as coming up for a block for you. So the Fool popping up here, the Fool has this openness. This is the first card of the entire journey. It is an openness. It is a willingness to be made a fool. It is a willingness to be naive, to be taken for a ride. You know, this naive sort of feeling of, hey, I'm open to the magic of this. Hey, I still believe in love. Hey, I'm here and I'm open. It could hurt me or it could be the best decision I've ever made in my life, but I'm here for it and I'm open to it. And this is showing up as a block, which means there is some part of this that you might not be willing to participate in, that you might be like, I don't want this journey. I don't want to be anywhere near naive. I don't want to be anywhere near, taking a dive off a cliff if things go wrong. I don't want to be moving forward in that way. And sometimes, sometimes we just feel very reluctant and very resistant to moving forward at all. And that can come from old love, from heartache, from not feeling worthy, from things where there could be something in here that's making you not feel worthy. This couldn't get into other things if, these like maybe old hurts. But there is something in there of you have to be willing to be open-armed. Now, here's what I would say is I feel like a lot of times I will pull up some blocks and I will get, this intense energy flying back at me that is very, no, that's not true. I absolutely, I'm super open to this. I've been looking for this for this long. You know yourself best. You do. You have this deep intuition, So you dip into what you know. But I will say, come at every card with curiosity. That is just a genius move where you don't have to accept it. You don't have to say, oh yes, I definitely am doing those things. You can say, okay, if I were doing those things, would it be possible that I'm doing that? Is it possible that I'm saying no? Is it possible I'm not willing to go on this journey? Is it possible that I feel unworthy? Is it possible that I feel like I'm not winning in a certain way? Whatever those things are, just come at it with curiosity. Is that, is that a possibility? And if it were, what would that look like? And how would I handle that? And maybe just dig around in there a little bit. Okay, continuing on. All right, my darling, let's see what we've got. So I still want to pull one more card for a block for you. So and then we're going to move on for you. And our Two of Swords, which I pulled up as a block for our pile one as well, makes perfect sense as a block. This card is a card that is exactly as it looks. It is having two decisions, having a choice that you have to make. And it is a reminder from the universe. It is a card that says, hey, you're not making a decision. You're choosing not to make a decision. That is a decision. You can choose to let circumstance make the decision for you, or you can choose for yourself. And that is popping up as a block, perhaps an unwillingness to choose for yourself. Or to at least take the blindfold off to it. At least know what you're doing. At least understand yourself. And that is a very hard thing, but it is a wonderful tool throughout your life. I have found is even if you don't want to be, you don't have to be honest with everyone. You don't have to shout it, on Instagram. I'm not making a decision about that. Like these are my problems. But you can say to yourself, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. If no one else, I will be honest with you. And even if it's hard to hear, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it doesn't feel good, we're going to be real. We're going to see what's really going on right now. And then we can make decisions from there. They don't even mean that you have to take the steps toward the action that you theoretically want to take. It can just enlighten your path. Like, oh, you don't want to make a decision. There might be a reason you don't want to make a decision, and that could be okay. But do see if you could take the blindfold off to that. Okay, let's ask some more questions. That that is just my personal opinion coming out there of what can be useful and helpful and has been in my own life. Okay, so I want to ask about this person. What do we need to know about this person and you, and where it can go and what it could feel like or what's going on? Oh, that's funny. Do you know, I was just thinking, I haven't pulled the death card in a while on any of my reads for a good second. I mean, a good second. I feel like it's been just a hiding little card in my deck. And now we have pulled it twice in one reading. So I have pulled it with our first reading for this person, and then when we pulled a card about this person, this came up as our death card. Now, our death card really gets into the like a final ending of something. There's a final ending of something that's important to know. Now, we're asking about this person and what we need to know about this person and where you can go with this person. Something has to be completely released in order for this to come together. So I really feel like there's the potential that this is not, this is something that has not come about yet. And you have been like, why haven't I met this person? When is this all going to come together? And there is something that has to be completely let go of first. And this really can't come together until they completely let go of something. And that's how you're going to know. That was one of our questions, how you're going to really know who this person is. They really have to let go of something. There's something they need to completely release. This could get into job change. We have this tower here. This could get into old relationship, letting go of, divorce. This could get into an actual death. They could be recovering from somebody's a parent could have died, or where they completely have to sort of recover from a space like that. This could also get into like a personal, they, had to overcome some sort of personal obstacle or hurdle in their life. But there is something that is not letting them move forward with you until this happens. So don't freak out if this person doesn't walk into your life immediately, or if this feels like it's taking a little bit of time. That's okay. What else do we need to know about this person? What else do we need to know about this person? What else do we need to know about this person and you? Wow, that's interesting. So we have the Knight of Swords coming in. Now, the Knight of Wands showed up, feels like a very different energy. The Knight of Swords, it does not feel like this person's energy, but this makes sense coming in. So this feels like what we've uncovered so far is that in the beginning, this might feel like that sort of like abandoned dog kind of feeling of like you might need to not run into it, but that doesn't mean there won't be a velocity to it that comes with it. That at some point with the clarity, and our swords get into that clarity, they get into truth, they get into intelligence. This is brain space. This is like cracking through all the fuzz. All the fuzz disappears. And when all the fuzz disappears, it will be fast, and it will have an incredible velocity to it. It will be incredibly, just the things that you might crave from this person coming in with their kind of faster speed. Just because it takes longer to get there doesn't mean you won't get there. And we love that heart space. We love the heart space that's over here as well. There's a lot of feeling in heart space. And it is a softer entry. It is not running, like a racehorse out of the, I don't know what a racehorse runs out of, but whatever it runs out of, it's not that feeling. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't pick up into a gallop, that it's like, okay, and now we go. We have clarity, we understand this is where it is. When you know. I love that. I don't want to pull any more cards for that person. I feel like that's very strong. I would like to pull another card for our Knight of Wands, just in case there's anything we need to know about that person. You know? Okay, so we have the Eight of Wands. And, you know, our Knight of Wands is very fast moving already. But this energy that this person would be bringing in, this is something you might want to do a deep dive on. I feel like we could go on for a few more hours. I feel like we could go on forever. This is something that you might want to do a deep dive. This is because this energy is fast coming in. But it's a kind of energy you just lean into. You just let it take over and you let it take you away, which does pique my interest. I am curious. I want to know more. I want to know all of the things. Oh my goodness. Ugh, isn't this fun? Couldn't you just be here all day? Don't you just want to know all of the things? Thank you for being with me this long as well. Okay. We're going to pull over our anchor card. Once again, this is a separate deck from all of the decks so far, so it can always be a duplicate card. So this was our original card. Hi, Empress. Boy, this makes me feel a little bit emotional. The Empress is a beautiful card. And you know, the Empress shares a lot of qualities with our Queen of Pentacles. Our Queen of Pentacles does have, like, you know, she's got this like sort of financial autonomy feeling to her. She can be a boss. She's got a great business sense. She has that showing upness, that reliability that is sort of separate, but it's still that nurturing, fertile, you know, like growth energy. There's so much growth happening. And the Empress has that as well. This is a very fertile energy, very growth oriented, very feminine, very divine feminine, just a breath of fresh air, of aliveness. And you know, I feel this as the way that you will be interpreted by outside eyes, outside love eyes, but I also just feel this as like a shiny, you know, wave of energy from you. That's it. It is just emanating from you. So honor that space in you. That is so beautiful. That is so divinely feminine. That is in a seat of exactly where you're supposed to be. That is in a seat where you can, you know, even with whatever's going on here, you can accept yourself exactly as you are, because you are loving and you are growth oriented and you are continuously growing. And you also, you just have this beauty about you inside and out. And just let that shine. Let that be. Own that. Claim that. Honor that. My beauty. Oof, my goodness. If you've been with me all of this time, if you don't even have to do this to claim this, just to sort of be like, put a little stamp on it. Let's put a little stamp on this and let's drop, I want something that represents the Empress to us, and all of these little stars are on her crown. Let's pop a star below. And I want a nice gold star because there's so much gold energy coming off here. I'm going to collect up some of this energy and I'm just going to put this in a little package. Thank you. I'm sending you so much love. I'm sending you so much light on this beautiful journey that you're on. You're doing great. Hey, you've got courage. You're brave. You're doing great. You're doing great. Proud of you. And I hope you can take a breath for yourself. Just to, yeah. Thank you. All right, I love you. Mwah. Until I see your precious self again. Mia. Ooh. Welcome in my card 3. Land and arrive. Be here now. Singles edition. Who's coming into your life? What are they bringing? We're going to find out all the details. We're going to get really deep into this reading. If you haven't subscribed already, please do that now. It will let us know that you love this content and that we'll make more content just like this. Also, it just makes me really happy. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I am going to start with our black deck. And we're going to start with that question. Who's coming in? What are they bringing with them? Who's coming in? What are they bringing with them? Who's coming in? What are they bringing with them? Who's coming in? What are they bringing with them? Who's coming in? What are they bringing with them? Who's coming in? What are they bringing with them? Who's coming in? What are they bringing with them? We're starting off with the Nine of Wands. We're starting off with the Knight of Cups. We are starting off with a Four of Wands. Got a little wand energy happening here. We've got the High Priestess. And we've got the Seven of Swords. So right away, we're getting some really interesting information. So first of all, this person has been hurt in the past. This person is coming from a space where they've been bonked over the head. This could be bonked over the head with love. This could be bonked over the head in a career. Our wands do get into passion, purpose, that fiery energy. There's some growth energy happening here that the wands are stepping into. But this person's coming from a space where they've been really hurt. They've been really torn down. But they've decided to get back up. They are getting back into it. They're getting back into the fight, but they're in this like protective energy where things they're not their fullest self. They're not their most open self. You'll notice this, this figure looks very closed off, very reticent, very skeptical, a little bit, worried, looking out for dangers, trying to really hold their own, hold this space that they've already created, what is precious to them. So there is something where they're coming from a space where they're not their most full, effulgent, powerful self. And so stepping into something with this person, this might be a little bit of a, slow to open door, which is okay. We're moving into the Knight of Cups over here, which this energy, I love this energy. This is a softer energy walking in. And there is a lot of feeling and emotion here. So even though this person is just sort of getting back into this space, they have not closed off their heart. They have not closed off their feelings. They might be harder to get through the door with, but they're still very emotionally available and very much, have a lot of feelings and emotions that are going to be handed off to you. This person brings a lot of wonderful qualities. I love the Knight of Cups here. This is a softer entrance. It's not, running, thundering through, galloping in. So it's not going to sweep you away, but it is going to be real, authentic, consistent, genuine, heartfelt. And we love that. That's a beautiful energy to come in. Now we also have the Four of Wands over here. And like I was saying about the wands, this is this fiery energy. This does get into this fiery passion, purpose energy. But this is, sometimes we call this the 1111 card because we have those four wands. And this does look like a wedding. This looks like a celebration. There is something that is, coming through with this person. There's a lot of potential for you here in a soulmate way. This feels already like this feels good. What they're coming in with, they have got some strong intentions and they have some, some real potential that this could end up being something really important that ends in that sort of celebratory, joy-having, real good way. Now, the High Priestesses are also coming in here, and our High Priestess is a beautiful card. It is a mysterious card. It is a wise card. It does have a lot of intuition that comes with it, a lot of seeing between the lines of the dark and the light, being the third pillar, as it were. And this person sees you as someone who is almost beyond their own ability to understand things. So they have a good insight into intuition and feelings and emotions as well. But they also recognize your gifts, that you have these gifts of really seeing things, being wise, being observant, understanding the spaces and the gray areas between things. But also you have this kind of magical quality about you, and they hold it in kind of reverence, that they're seeing you in this way. And that's like one of the first things that's really going to strike them about you. Now we also have the Seven of Swords here, and the Seven of Swords is kind of this thieving card. The swords get into thought space, mental space, clarity, truth, and there is something that sort of runs off here. So this coming in is like the fifth card, and I haven't really asked a question here. I'm just asking what they're bringing in and who this person is. It does feel like there is something that you will be not at odds with, but there is something that will also be at play here that will kind of want to steal their attention away, that will kind of want to, their thoughts might make off with them, and you might feel like you've lost them mentally sometimes, like, where'd you go? And there's something that kind of just sneaks up and takes their thoughts away, and there is a space where you might notice that feeling. But it does feel like this person is very genuine, and that this person, even though they might be battling some things from the past and coming back around into a space and still sort of fighting with their thoughts about it, that they are very much showing up, and they are very much showing up as who they are in a very authentic way. So far, I really like this person. I'm going to put that out there. Let's go ahead and find out more about this person. So the first thing I want to ask, I want to get a specific question out here, is I want to ask about love blocks, about things that could block this from moving forward to its fullest potential. The Emperor is showing up, which is a very interesting card to show up here. And I'm not 100% sure if I'm reading this as something that is sort of hidden in their energy, or if this is something from an outside source for them. But showing up as a block for them, I do feel like if this is theirs... Okay, we had a very loud helicopter go by. I do feel like if this is their energy, then it's a part of them that they don't really like tapping into. It is maybe a controlling part of them, someone who really wants to have control of the situation, that's afraid to let things, sort of take their natural course, or a part of them that maybe is a little bit more needy to be praised, to be seen for their accomplishments. But this is showing up as a block for them. So this could also be an outside person for them, like a father figure, or this could, be a female as well. But this energy, it could be something where they feel a lot of pressure from this person to perform in a certain way, or to live their life in a certain way, or that there's certain expectations on them, and results driven and controlling. And this could even be a part of, like their career or something gets into something like this. So there is something that's showing up as a block for them that way. Let's continue with this, with the blocks for love. Oh boy, and the Lovers show up as a block for love. Now, this is very interesting. So the Lovers is very intimate. This is a completely seen and known card. These two figures are both naked. They're both very much seen by each other. They're very much equals, fated. This is, a real sense of togetherness. And there could be something in their psyche that, those deep beliefs that can come up as a block about, maybe there's a belief that this doesn't truly exist, or that they can never be fully themselves. They can never be fully loved as who they are, so they can't fully show themselves. They can't be fully exposed. We know they have a lot of heart space, and they're bringing that heart space around, but that doesn't mean that they're fully exposed in that heart space. There could be things that they're holding back that they think are unlovable. And there could be something where if you don't feel like you get the full picture of who they are, that turns into a block for love, that they can't, partnership doesn't really allow that kind of secrecy maybe. I'd like to know more about that. So I would like to ask the card specifically for more about that. I'm closing my eyes in case I do anything weird. I should be careful about closing my eyes with a lit candle in the cards, shouldn't I? Oh dear. Here we go. Okay, so we're asking more specifically about that, and the Queen of Wands pops up. And this tells me that it probably has to do with a past love, a past person. This could also get into parents. If they had a parent who wasn't able, their parents weren't able to have sustained love. And, this could represent like a mother figure that, wasn't able to sort of hold it together in the relationship, maybe decided something else was more important, but a strong female figure coming in here. And This could either be something from childhood that they've seen, or a past love that they've had where it really just didn't work out, and maybe they did get rejected by this person for fully exposing themselves, for fully being themselves, or they felt that they had been. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's true. That could be a perception. It's just in the energy. I want to ask now, I want to move a little bit to what the potential is for you two. What is the potential for you two? What is the potential here? Now, despite my knowing that I have to be careful of that candle, I am closing my eyes again. Okay, here we go. So we're asking about the potential of love for you two. And the first card we get, we have the Nine of Pentacles. And the Pentacle, this is a beautiful card. It's very gold. It's very luxurious. This is a card of things coming to fruition, coming in. It is opulent, and the Pentacles often get into worldly goods. But when we're talking about love, often, and there seem to be a whole bunch of helicopters going by. I hope that you guys aren't hearing these. I'll probably try to see if I can make sure that you don't. But I'm going to keep going. We're going to keep going through this. I always say outside sounds amplify the message. So this really coming through with, and when we're getting into love readings, often the Pentacles can get into things of value, So asking about the potential of this, it feels like you could really flourish here. That there is the way that they treat you, the way that they hold you in high regard, the way that they put you up and lift you up could leave you in a very luxurious space. Not just for gifting you things and, like wanting you to have everything that you want physically, but also for your growth potential, for your feeling like the best version of yourself. And for you feeling like you're getting the things that you desire, things coming to you that you have desired. I'm still going to stay with that question because I do want to know more about the potential for the two of you. Hi, King of Cups. I love to see this. Now, I really love to see this too because we had the Knight of Cups coming in, and that feels just like the right evolution. They're coming in with this sort of, softer, younger kind of, newer feelings, emotions, really coming with the heart on the sleeve. But this really lands for them. So if you guys progress and the potential is really met and received, they have real potential to land into their seat of power and to really be the full man that they want to be. Someone who is deeply feeling, deeply emotional, and not releasing any of their masculinity in that. Has an ability to really see what's going on beneath the surface, to talk to your emotions, to understand you in a way that a lot of people would not understand you or even know how to read. That they can read that language. They can read the language of emotions. And this is a very strong card. I really like this popping up. This makes me happy. We're going to continue with that question. I want to just see what else we have in the potential for this. What else do we have in the potential for this? Now we have the Five of Swords popping up. And it does feel, our cards often show us, which makes perfect sense because we're talking about human beings. This is a human being. You're a human being. You guys both get to make your own choices and decisions in this life. So this card is, the card's showing us that there are often two divergent paths. Things could go two ways because that is often incredibly true. There is always a bit of, risk when you are taking another human being into account, even if they're a wonderful investment. Now, we know that they're coming from this space where things might run off with them. And we're getting into that thought space, and this is a very similar feeling to it, only this is a very brutal card. So that feeling that there could be a space where their thoughts don't let them fully move into this, to the full potential of this, that they haven't been able to overcome their demons. They haven't been able to overcome the negative thoughts, the limiting beliefs, the things that have haunted them in some aspects of their life. And, you will still feel here as you're entering this. So there is a possibility that that can come up and really keep things from moving forward. Okay, I want to ask as our last question, I would like to ask about anything we need to know about this person that we don't know to ask. Just asking anything we need to know about this person that we don't know to ask. And the Hanged Man pops up. And I love this popping in. The Hanged Man is telling us that, okay, what we are not seeing is that they have a very unique perspective. They see things from their very own point of view. They're not afraid to go against, societal norms. They're not afraid to go their own way. They also have a deep sense of intuition, which makes sense. We're talking about somebody who's, living their personal space in this cup space. So they've got a lot of like intuition, emotions, and feelings, and they can really feel those vibrations. This is someone who has a lot of gut feelings, and they can trust those gut feelings because they've proven to be true. And this is someone also who, once again, as we sort of started off in this journey, they may not push things forward the way, like, they might not pursue you as hard as you would want them to run after you as hard as you might want them to. If you are someone who need someone to chase them, they might be like holding back. This doesn't feel like a game playing kind of person. This feels like a very authentic, real, genuine, and also sensitive person who, it might hold out and wait to see how things are going to go, see how things unfold before they make big moves. So that is important to know. If you have a tendency towards that at all, I would be careful of that. Let's check on you. Let's see what's going on with you. So I'm pulling in our pink deck for you, and I want to get some information on what's going on with you. Now, our pink deck is our lovely slippery deck. So she kind of just, will do her own thing with shuffling and with, letting herself move about, and we're going to let her. She's got her own personality. So here we go. We're getting into your energy, and this is where we're getting started. Yep. Okay. Hi. Okay, this is a completely separate deck. So as you probably know, if you've done a reading with me before and we've used multiple decks, this is the opportunity to have duplicate cards for this other deck, because it is completely separate. And I love duplicate cards because duplicate cards give us synchronicities, they line up some information for us, and right away we do have a duplicate card. We have the Four of Wands when we're pulling cards for you. We have the Four of Wands over here for them. Four of Wands is a glorious card. I am thrilled that is our duplicate card for our first pull. And now we also have the Justice card. We have the Four of Wands, we have the Star, we have the World, and we have the Three of Swords. We are getting so much information about you, and you probably have some things popping up into your brain right now as we're going. Now, I would like to start with the Justice card, because I do feel like there is something perhaps that is dictating your actions and your mind space and your energetic space around perhaps something that wasn't fair. Perhaps there is something that feels like this is not the way it was supposed to be. That was not the way it was supposed to be. And that feeling of I need to get something back, or I need to have some vengeance. Vengeance is such an old-fashioned word, I guess. But I think of duels, and but that feeling of like something has been taken from me, and I want to make it right. This feels wrong. I feel like I've been wronged. And justice is holding a sword. And I do think, and also we have the balancing scales. I do think there's something important here to remember about the way that you're using your thoughts. Our swords do get into that thought space. And if you are anchoring yourself into feelings of unfairness or trying to prove something or get even with something, to get justice on something, and that's taking up a lot of mental space for you, that can be dangerous. That can really take over things. And I would just ask, is that a place where you want to live? Perhaps it is. Perhaps it's motivating you to overcome some real hurdles and have some incredible performance things. But when it comes to love and when it comes to your heart space, that can get tricky. Now, this isn't popping up as a block. That's not what we've been asking right now. So we will ask that for you, but that is something that could be really, sinking its little teeth into permeating your life and your energy. I think of a little snake. That's why I do those little teeth, little fangs, ooh, and then the venom goes in. Now, the star is coming up as well, and I love the star. The star this makes sense when we're getting over here and we're looking at the high priestess with your energy behind that. The star is coming from this space of being very vulnerable, very open, very exposed. You do have this authenticity. You do have this ability to really show who you are, to, just sort of really be yourself. And perhaps that's not with everyone, but it does feel like it is with most people, or with the people who are the most important to you. There's also this incredible giving energy about you that you give of your emotions. You get very invested in other people. You get very invested in what's going on. You feel very emotionally about what's happening in your world. You really are a giver. And you also do need to make sure you're taking care of yourself, that if you're giving a lot, that you're also receiving, that you're also taking care of you, that you're also getting your self-care time, that you're still putting your priorities somewhere, that it's not all just going out to other people, and taking care of that vulnerability that you naturally have, which is beautiful and wonderful. Now, we're coming back to this Four of Wands, and just as over here we had the Four of Wands, there is something beautiful coming in for you. There is something beautiful and victorious and joyful, and this can get into the 1111 card. This can get into wedding celebratory card. This can get into some other type of victory celebration. This is a together card, though. There's a lot of togetherness happening here. And this is wonderful. So there's something big and juicy and yummy and exciting and victorious and happy coming in for you. Now, we also have the World and we have the Three of Swords, two very different cards, but there are some similar things coming in, because the World comes in, and the World is the ending of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. So there is an ending coming for you soon. And what I would really encourage you to do is, as you're sort of transitioning, making some sort of transition in your life right now, is to really look back and celebrate the things that you can celebrate, even the things that do not feel like they deserve a celebration. Like, that was painful. That hurt. That wasn't good. Taking the time to celebrate yourself through those, that you made it through that. You were this kind of person who handled this pain and discomfort, and you have come through these things and the beautiful moments that were in there too. I want you to take a moment to really sort of, pat yourself on the back for that cycle that you've been through. Have that gratitude in there, and then let yourself, as you transition onto this new cycle, because something has ended and is ending and something new is beginning, which makes sense when we're talking about someone coming in. Now, this person could already be in your life. This doesn't mean this has to be something totally brand new that you've never seen before, but there are levels to everything. So whatever, as this comes in, there is growth happening here. So, yes. Now, we also have the Three of Swords. And I was saying that that makes sense with the ending of a cycle, because there is some pain and heartbreak that is held here. There is something that feels, and this could very much get into the space where we feel something has been very unfair for you. There is something heartbreaking that's happened. There is something very painful that has happened. And give yourself a moment just to champion yourself a bit. You've made it through this. And I know that you might still very much be going through it. This card is showing up, and that energy is probably sticking to you. It's probably right with you right now. Give yourself a big old pat on the back. You are doing great. You've made it through something harrowing. You are the hero of your own story, and this is beautiful. And all the pain and the things, and there is beauty in all of that. And this leads to new paths, which is also beautiful. But take a second just to champion yourself for making it through something very painful. And let yourself breathe. Support yourself a little bit. If you want to, pat your heart, or if you want to just sort of, rub on your shoulders, anything that feels like it's nurturing and loving that you can do for yourself, I would encourage you to do that right now. All right, now I want to find out a little bit more about what's going on with you. So I would like to know about any blocks to left. I feel like we're kind of getting glimpses of what could be blocking future things, but perhaps not. This is a transition period. You're transitioning, through some stuff. So perhaps those are not going to show up as blocks, but let's find out. So as we're asking about blocks, we get the 10 of Pentacles, which is a funny card to pull for a block. The tens are cards of completion. The pentacles get into, worldly goods. They get into money. Typically this card would be kind of, like a generational wealth of generosity that someone can pass down and have this huge family that everybody's opulent. Everybody's got money. There's abundance everywhere. There's a lot of giving. There's a lot of love. This popping up as a block for you, I'm not sure that I'm reading it very clearly on what the block is. Perhaps even just my explaining it to you is pulling something for you. I feel like this could get into an expectation of something. This could also get into a disappointment about something from your own family, a disappointment that you didn't have this, or that you didn't have that family feeling of, taking care of each other, that you didn't get the generosity you needed. There is something in here. I'm going to let you figure this out. I'm going to let you sit with this one and use your intuition to know what this is. And maybe you don't even need into it. You're like, I know what that is. But I'm not reading it super clearly. I want to continue on with blocks, finding out what else can be a block for you in love. Oh boy. So we get the 9 of Pentacles. Again, with the Pentacles, we're staying in this area. Now, reminding you that we've pulled the 9 of Pentacles, and we pulled the 9 of Pentacles when we were asking about potential outcomes for this relationship, for the two of you, where you can receive what you want to receive. You can, this is the way they want to treat you, and things really coming to you. Now, this is popping up as a block. And there is a possibility that you have a very hard time receiving. And that is very interesting. I would take a moment, and you might have a hard time even, and this could get into feeling like you could have a very hard time feeling like you are lovable, that you're deserving of special treatment, that you're deserving of being fawned over or having something special. And this could really get into where 10 of Pentacles is as well. Take a second with that. I would like to take a moment just to say that you are absolutely deserving. No one is deserving or not deserving. There's nothing you can do to be more deserving than someone else. We are inherently deserving as we are born into this world, and that's beautiful. Okay, I'm going to pull another card for you for blocks. Oh boy. All of your blocks so far have pulled up in the Pentacles. So I'm just going to point that out. There is potential that this could get into something of this world too. This could get into the being related to having touches of being related to money, touches of being related to money, of worth, of worthiness, of value. So as a block, this card is very much a hoarding card. This figure, you'll notice, is really holding on to everything they have, and they're very scared of releasing and letting go. So this is that kind of, I'm not open, I'm not flowing, it's not coming in. And this is really interesting because the two block cards that we got before are both, very much like, hey, flowing on in. Here it all is, and this card is like, hey, I'm not letting go. I'm not giving anything up. But also if you're not giving anything up, you can't take anything new. So there is something going on here that is very closed off and that is not open. And once again, when we were talking about maybe being open to receiving or feeling perhaps worthy to receive, perhaps, there's a possibility that you don't even believe it if, if you stepped into something and there, love was on the table, feelings and emotions were on the table, that you would dismiss things as impossible almost, and you would dismiss those feelings as not true because you just thought, it's not possible. Open up your arms for me if you can. You don't have to open them wide, just like hands, palms open. Open your heart space up. Open your third eye up. Let yourself just sort of be in a very open, receptive, physical position right now, if you feel comfortable doing that. And just let yourself breathe for a moment and breathe into that, into those words that I've just used, into anything that I might have brought up or not brought up, just to come at it with curiosity. I find when talking about blocks, sometimes there's a lot of resistance to seeing a block because who wants to see that, like this gets into painful truths, perhaps. I'm not gonna touch any hot buttons, but perhaps this could get into some painful things. But coming at it with a sense of curiosity, almost detachment, of like, is it possible? And if it were true, how would that manifest in my life? What part of my life would that be affecting right now? How would I feel about that? And going down that rabbit hole, kind of. Okay, I'm going to keep moving us forward. So these are the things that I would like to know. I would like to know, first of all, I want to pull two cards for the two of you. And I want to pull two cards for action steps for you to overcome these blocks, because these feel big and important to me. I'm going to start with the potential for this relationship. We have Temperance, which is a beautiful balance. This has the potential to be something where you truly give and take equally, where you truly, it's a togetherness. That is a side-by-side relationship. One person isn't loving the other person more. You're loving equally. You're giving equally. It is a true partnership. And also, as we're looking at the potential for this relationship, we're getting the King of Swords, which is so interesting because looking at the potential for this relationship on their energy, we're getting the King of Cups, which perhaps means that they are very much in their emotions and feelings, and perhaps you really want and need someone who is very much in their seat of power, in their seat of knowing, being able to say, I know what the answer is, I know what that is, and that is what you would see in this person, even if they are also bringing a lot of feelings and emotions, and that might be the more important thing to them. That you're seeing them in this sort of divine masculinity of a slightly more intense position of knowing and clarity and truth and protectiveness. Okay, now I want to ask about action steps that you can take for these blocks. So I want action-oriented things. That is what I am asking for, and that's what I'm going for. The first thing is a pretty obvious thing. We have the Eight of Cups, and this is a card where this person is walking away from something that held a lot of feelings and emotions. You might have to start moving on if you haven't already. And this card is coming up, which means to me, there probably hasn't been a lot of moving on, that you probably have not walked away from the feelings and emotions of something from the past, of the thing from the past. Start moving on from it. And that means moving on from the justice aspect of it as well, even if it's like righteous indignation or, like feeling angry, anything, feelings and emotions, not just sadness. the feelings and emotions of it. And that means nostalgia too. Oh, that joyful thing that happened, all of it, starting to move on from all of it. It doesn't mean you lose all of that. It just means you're ready to step into a new part of your life. And that can mean physically letting go of, items in your house that keep reminding you of someone or of a certain event, removing certain, if you have like old photos, like moving those. If you can't delete them, you can move them to a hard drive, or like moving on, physically moving on too. Letting yourself create some distance. If you happen to like fall into the world of someone from your past, fall back out, move on, walk on. Okay, so now, continuing, I'm asking that same question. I want one more action item for you for these blocks. Oh boy, now we have the Five of Swords, which is so interesting. I'm asking for an action item for you, and what's so fascinating to me, we've already pulled this card from this person's energy deck. This was as a potentiality of the possibility of your relationship. And this is coming up as an action item for you to move forward, which to me says that it is possible when we're coming up here on the potential of this, and you probably have a lot of power in how this plays out. If you decide this is something you really want, you probably own a lot of the responsibility for some of the things that could come up that could be kind of brutal. And that could be, withholding certain emotions or feelings, or like having certain things that are actually perhaps painful to this person, even if they're not painful to you. And I do think that's very important to remember, that what is painful to you, is not necessarily the same thing that is painful to this person. And I say that because if you have a distanced belief on your worthiness for love, or if you have something where you're like, well, this can't cause them a lot of pain because this isn't that deep, this isn't that big of a deal, but that could cause them not receiving love, not receiving the feelings and emotions, could be very painful to this person, even if it feels like it shouldn't be from your perspective. So when we're looking at action items, this feels like it is learn how to control your mind, but especially as it relates to other people. This feels kind of like you might have to learn how to communicate certain things in a gentler way. You might have to, especially in romantic aspects, but because we're asking for action items, I would suggest this in every single interaction, every single relationship you have, work relationships, everything. Learning how to really truly be perhaps gentler with yourself, coddling yourself a little bit, because there is something perhaps a little bit brutal inside yourself to yourself. And that can show up with other people and be very distancing for other people, or feel very uninviting or hard or challenging. And it's not, that might feel like, no, it's just how I'm treating myself. I'm not treating anybody else that way. But there might be something in there that is very tricky. Just come at it with curiosity, and you best. You have a deep intuition on you. You let anything roll off you that doesn't feel like it is accurate. But I am curious, if you come at it with a curious perspective, if there might be a nugget of something in there for you. Okay, we are going to pull over our anchor card. Let's see what our original card was. And our original card was the Five of Cups reversed. And I love that this was our original card. This feels like a message for both of you. This feels like something that they are coming from a space where they're just going to be standing back up into this. And this is this card says, hey, you're looking at what you've lost. You're not looking at what you have. Cups, getting into feelings and emotions. You're not looking at where you can go. You're just looking at what's spilled, what's gone to you. This is a reversed card, and this feels like it is on the precipice of turning around, which means change is in the air. And as things start to change, new cycles begin, things really start to kick off. But this change has to happen. So getting really present with yourself, starting that walk forward, that walk away, that can kick off the energy of really lighting things up with this person, bringing this person in. So timing is really going to kind of be dependent on both of you and your willingness to walk on from the past, to move forward, to see what you still have, what is available to you, what is with you right now. Ooh, I hope that you still love me after perhaps touching on some things over here. I still love you. I'm sending you so much love. I'm sending you so much light, so much support. This is some hard stuff. If you do feel like you're resonating with any of this stuff over here, that is some hard stuff. So, breathe into that and support yourself. Really champion yourself. I love that phrase, that saying that, champion yourself. Be on your side. Take your side. You're worthy of that. You are worthy of everything. Okay. If you've been with me thus far, let's go ahead. I would like to just drop a pink heart. It doesn't necessarily have to do with anything going on here. We have, just pink coming up, and I'm just feeling like, hey, let's just put a little love on it. Let's just package this all up and pink heart it. Put a pink heart down below. I would love to hear about whatever is coming up for you right now. If this hits you, if this doesn't hit you, if you're like totally wrong or you're like spot on, I want to hear. Give me some details if you feel comfortable sharing. I can't wait to see you again soon. Mwah. Until then, Mia. Welcome in my card for Singles Edition. Who is coming into your life right now, and what are they bringing with them? We're going to find out all the details. We're going to do a nice deep dive. We're going to find out all about you and what's going on with you too. Take a breath, land, arrive, be here now, be open and receptive. Take in what feels good to you. Leave behind anything that doesn't. Also, if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe now. It means the world to me, to the whole team, and it lets us to know to do more content just like this. Let's get started. Okay, so we are starting off with this beautiful black deck. Who is coming in? 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 And what are they bringing with them? And we're starting with the Ten of Pentacles reversed. We're starting with the Lovers. Hi. We are starting with the King of Swords. Hi. We are starting with the Fool. Hi. Oh boy. And we're starting with the Five of Wands. Right away, we are getting so much information. Already, this feels like it has incredible potential. We do have the Lovers showing up. We have the King of Swords showing up. We have the Fool showing up. Now, let's go ahead and start at the beginning. We have the Ten of Pentacles reversed. And the Ten of Pentacles is, this is a card of generational wealth. It's a card of happiness, of the generosity, of things coming to fruition, of having abundance. And it is this yummy family vibe. There is something really beautiful about this card. Now, it feels like there's something perhaps in this person's world that it does feel scattered, that does feel perhaps displaced with their family. Perhaps there is something that's not going well within their family, their big family unit, maybe their small family unit. something that does feel like it's been turned on its head here. It has all of the bones and the makings of a very healthy, happy, abundant relationship, but something is wrong here. So there is something going on in this person's life where it's not all roses, things aren't all growing, happily and merrily. Now, this could be something that they've gotten out. This could be someone who's come from a divorce. This could be somebody who's come from a divorce with family attached with the children and such. This could be the greater family, their parental units. But there is something in here that is just a little bit not in full alignment. There's something that they're coming out of. Now, pulling this over, this has potential. This has soulmate potential. This has completely known, completely seen, completely open and exposed to each other, fated destiny potential. There is something really beautiful in the bones of what could be coming in here with this person. And this person is extremely sharp-minded. Our King of Swords, our swords always getting to that intelligence space, thought space, mental space, clarity, truth. There's a very strong, dominant masculine presence here. So there is someone who has a real seed of knowing, a real seed of power, a real seed of masculinity who's showing up here. And I love that energy. Now the Fool is also showing up here. And I love this paired with our King of Swords because, we've got this, this really intense, yummy masculine energy that has a real understanding of what they want. They've got a real knowledge of everything. They're just very smart. They're very mentally sharp. But they also have this other energy that is willing to be vulnerable, willing to be open. The Fool is this beautiful card. This is where everything starts. This is the Fool's journey, this entire thing. And this is an openness, a willingness to perhaps even be naive, to perhaps be totally vulnerable to, the hurts, but also the joys, the adventure of which way it could go. It could be great, completely open, but completely open also means, hey, you could also fall off a cliff. This is a beautiful energy to come in with this person who might deal in more, facts and real cutting intelligence than that kind of openness. But this is a beautiful pairing. Okay, there's some sort of saw just started or something. So please forgive that sound. But we also have the Five of Wands here. And the Five of Wands is this chaotic, it's kind of this fight energy. It can be a playful fight. It can be a serious fight. It's not a fight to the death, but it can be this chaos, this kind of cacophonous, like what's going on? What's happening? This can get into competitive energy as well, which I can understand with our King of Swords. He could have a competitive side to him. So there is, within your relationship, you might have some sparring, and it might not be negative. It could be very positive banter. This could be somebody who likes to give you a joking hard time about stuff because that's one of the ways they express love. But that could also be that, that's a little bit a part of your relationship. There's a lot of fire energy between you. There's a lot of physical fire, but also some, coming up to clash about things and wanting to hash things out or debate about things. As you're getting into knowing each other. I paused for just a second to let that sawing stop, and I think we are in the clear. Okay, so I'm continuing on with this person. So now I want to ask some specific questions. So I'm going to close my eyes a little bit. I'm going to be careful, hopefully, of this candle, and hopefully not get too close to it. Wouldn't that just be a disaster? Okay, I would like to know about this person and any blocks that they have to love, any blocks that they might have currently to love. We're getting started with the Five of Swords, a very, this makes a lot of sense coming in as a block. the Swords getting back into that thought space. It makes sense since this person is really in their mind a lot. And this is a very brutal card. So there is a part perhaps of even this person's own mind being really brutal to them, that they turn it on themselves. Or that somebody else has done something very cruel to them and really, really sort of beat them down about something and been very harsh and brutal and taken something from them. And either way, this is showing up as a block for them, that they might have a really hard time overcoming those thoughts. Those thoughts might just haunt them and keep popping back up over and over again. Also popping up as a block is the Wheel of Fortune. An interesting card to pop up as a block, which is kind of like a great good luck card, like really good things sort of just dropping in. And as a block to love, it feels like this would be coming in as, like a lot of really good things coming their way, happening, just sort of things coming easily and just fortuitously and sort of landing in their lap. And some other sort of drilling has started now. Okay, we're picking up where the noise left off. So we just had to let it settle until they finished what they were doing outside. But we're getting back to the Wheel of Fortune. So we pulled the Wheel of Fortune for this person as a block. And I'm feeling this as, good things are coming in. Good things will be happening. Things will be sort of landing at their feet. It will feel like they're just, so lucky. Like every lucky thing, every fortunate thing is just sort of falling in their path. And this might keep them blocked because it might keep them distracted, but also it might make them feel like maybe they don't have to work for the things that they want. They don't have to, things are just sort of like coming in, and it's kind of like being a kid in a candy store of things just sort of pouring in. I find that a really interesting block coming in. And I'm not 100% sure how that's playing out, but that's coming in as a block. So let's go ahead and find out what else could be coming in as a block. We're going to pull one more card for them for anything that might be coming in as a block to love for this person. And we're just going to, okay. The Queen of Cups coming in as a block for them. And this makes a lot of sense, coming in as someone that they've, a female figure, a woman, romantic, something that they've let go of, something that they've turned away from, that they've lost, and that's keeping them from fully opening their heart in the present and in the future, can come in as a block as well. And, that's a journey that they're going to have to be making. Someone who held a lot of emotion and a lot of feeling for them. And, we're coming from that reverse 10 of Pentacles, and there could be some kind of, family dissembling feeling going on, and this person could be a part of that. Now, I want to see what the future can hold and the potential can hold for the two of you. We already know that there's some really strong potential here, but I just want to pull a few more cards. Now, remember, we've already pulled the Lover's card. I love pulling this. We pull the Eight of Pentacles. This card is a showing up card. It is like an investment card. It is showing up every day, being consistent, when I say putting the work in, I don't even really mean it as work. There's something peaceful and joyful about this as well, but it is accruing. It is, hey, I'm here. I see value in this. I'm adding to the value. Every day I'm adding to the value. This is building and compiling. And that is a wonderful card to pull here in a love aspect, because that is showing up, being consistent, being trustworthy, seeing the value, adding to the value day after day. I want to see what else we might have in the potential for the two of you as well. Hi, Queen of Pentacles. I love this. And I love this because we have had these little pentacles popping up, and we started with, something that sort of, of great worth could get into financial things, but, that's sort of falling apart, and they see this great worth in you, and you can be this version of yourself that is able to truly show up. If you have problems showing up now, or if you don't, if that's already your superpower, there is this quality with this person that you possess where you really show up. You're really able and capable. You can grow things. You grow things around you. There's a very fertile energy to this, a very motherly energy to this. Taking care of those you love, taking care of yourself, being financially able and capable as well. But that really being all around, business too, sort of having those beautiful like business ideas, being able to run things efficiently, smoothly, being the kind of person who just really knows and has a sense of, I know what to do. We're going to do this. We're going to be consistent about it. And we're going to get results that way and grow all of these things. And look how we grow. Okay. Now I want to pull 2 cards about this person that we don't know to ask. So any question that's coming up in here that we don't know to ask. Hi, we have the 4 of Wands. So this holds great potential. This is sometimes, can get back to weddings. This can sometimes be called the 1111 card. The wands get into fire energy. It's a beautiful, thriving, growing energy. It's a beautiful card to pull here. So there is some very great potential here. I am seeing such budding potential, such budding potential. Okay, and we don't know to ask. We don't know to ask. Yeah, and there is, I think this is lovely. I don't think this is a big surprise moment. This is just soft that you will have these moments, and maybe most of your life together, most of the time that you have together, because we do have, some of this perhaps combativeness, perhaps that's joking, perhaps it's competitive. We're not really sure here yet until we get into it, but there is something a little bit, and here we're coming into a space of it is playful. It is joyful. This is, laughing over dinner and having delicious food and, really enjoying each other, moving together, enjoying each other's feelings and emotions and riding the joyfulness. And it's just a lovely fabric of a card, a fabric of a relationship, of just the day to day. This is, not even looking at, huge picture necessarily. It's just getting down to the fine print of the day to day. It is joyful. It is fun. You laugh together a lot. You have these moments that just really fill your cup and emotionally feel very satisfied. And have lots of friends beyond the relationship as well, between the 2 of you. Have other people, more family. Oh my goodness. Okay, I want to go ahead and we are going to move to our pink deck for you. So we're going to ask some questions specifically for you. My pink deck, as I like to tell everyone, is my slippery little deck. She likes to do whatever she wants. So sometimes she doesn't like to shuffle, and sometimes she likes to spray all over the place and move wherever she wants to. And I just let her do what she wants. So we're going to just see what she's got to say about what's going on for you. So let's see what we have going on for you. First of all, we have the 8 of Cups. And this is a moving away card. This card signifies moving away from something that's held a lot of emotion and feeling for you. So there's something that you're coming out of that you've been moving on from. This feels very present moment, that you're en route, that you have been in this path of moving forward and moving away. We're really getting into a lot of feelings and emotions. So I do think that you have a lot of, this is the type of person you are. You have a lot of feelings and emotions. The Page of Cups comes in, which is a youthful messenger card, a little bit funny, a little saucy perhaps. There is something very playful going on. And perhaps there's something playful that you're finding about life right now, where you didn't really think you could. You've been moving away from something. Maybe you've been very serious about it, but some sort of new playful aspect has started to hit you, being sort of flirtatious with life even. And you're projecting new messages out into the world to prospective people, to friends, which is a very magnetic quality. It's really pulling people in and pulling people towards you. Let's see what else we have here. So I'm going to go ahead and close my eyes for a moment. Okay. Mhm. Okay, so we have the Hermit and we have the Nine of Cups, two very different cards. Once again, we have another Cups card. The Hermit is this kind of pulling back into yourself. So you may be in a space right now where you're kind of shying away from sharing and exposing too much with other people, that you've really been shining an interior light in yourself. And maybe you're keeping it a little bit lighthearted with the rest of the world at large. But you have been doing a little soul searching, but it is very interior to you. And there's been a lot of growth for you there. But it doesn't mean that that's where you have to stay. It's been perhaps a good space for you and a wise space for you and a place to learn about yourself and to see the world in a different way. But it might be time to make some more pathways back to the rest of civilization as well. Now, the Nine of Cups is coming in. And this is sometimes called, like a wish fulfilled card, like a genie card. It's that kind of like, yes, you're getting everything. Now, this can also be, the cups get into those feelings and emotions. This can also be, there's a lot here. There's a lot coming in. So I do feel like there might be if you've been really inside of yourself and you haven't really been getting into this space where things have been coming in yet, which feels like you're on a journey. It doesn't feel like you're there yet, but this feels like it's on the way and it's coming in. You might need to get to a space where you can really be open to this, where you can really open yourself up and be in a space that's a little more open, a little less closed off, and just very, very wide open to what can be coming in, to be receptive, to, sort of be a receiving lane, but really good things are on their way to you. Really beautiful things to fill you up, emotionally fill you up, are coming in. Okay. What else is coming in for you? I'm just going to pull one more card before we ask some questions. So we have the Moon reversed. So the Moon gets into secrets, hidden truths, things that are sort of, hidden away, tucked away, that maybe need to come out into the light. Now, this is a reversed card, and I'm feeling like there's very possibly something that you are not acknowledging to yourself that is very important. Something that you maybe know as a truth intuitively, maybe something that is a personal truth, something in the, the gut feeling of, this is what I need to face head on, but it's important. It's popping up because it's important. So there is something here that perhaps you're not letting yourself open your eyes to, even though you've been doing this work, you've been trying to get there. You've certainly been looking internally, but I think there's an insight that you already have access to, that you just haven't let yourself claim as a truth, that you haven't let yourself say, yes, I know that to be true. Okay. Now I'd like to ask some specific questions for you as well. So let's get into some specifics. Let's see what we've got specifically coming in. Let's see. Okay, so we are now asking about love blocks that might be coming up for you. And I encourage you, if anything comes up that feels perhaps like it might be getting into defensive territory, I want you to just come at it with curiosity. Instead of immediately rejecting the idea, maybe just think, what if it were true? What could that be if there were something? And then also dip into your intuition always. We're looking at love blocks for you. Ace of Pentacles coming in as a love block for you, which is so interesting, my Queen of Pentacles over here. And the Queen of Pentacles is what we were pulling up, as what you can inhabit, how you can land in this relationship over here, this person coming in. And the aces bring in new opportunities, and the pentacles can bring in things like money, being able to handle yourself, feeling capable, feeling growth oriented, feeling like you're able, you can show up for yourself over and over and over again, that you can do the work, you can accrue the things. that investment idea. This can also get into things of the body. This can get into anything of the physical earth. This could get into your health, fitness, anything like that. But there is some part of these qualities that are a block for you, that feel like perhaps you want to outright reject them, perhaps you don't want to need them, or perhaps you are flat out terrible at them. You don't like them, you don't want them, or you feel like you're not capable, you're not able, you don't know how to make yourself show up over and over again. Let's see what else is popping up for you in blocks. Okay. Also popping up for you in blocks, we have the Seven of Cups, which I haven't pulled this card in a long time, actually, which is interesting. And we're getting back into this cups area. You know, we have a lot of cups coming in for you, getting into those emotions and feelings. And this is kind of a displacement card. You know, this is in the clouds. There are good things here, there are bad things here. This could be, you know, you really turning to your imagination, or really deciding to not live in the world, to not be present with what really is, but choosing instead to be in your imagination and not in the world. And, you know, when we get into like manifestation energy, that has a lot to do with your imagination and, you know, sort of living in an emotional space that you've created, but you still want to be here in this world. You still want to be, you know, feeling all those emotions here in the present. This could also get into dissociative behavior, things like, you know, using TV and stories and music, or, you know, anything that wouldn't actually feel healthy and good. If it feels healthy and good, then it probably is healthy and good for you. If it doesn't feel healthy and good, you know, that could get into food and things too, or catastrophizing. Any of those sorts of things really pop up here, and that could be a block to love, to you being really present, being available to feel the things that are truly coming in for you, which is quite a lot is coming in for you. Let's see what else you might have here in blocks. We're just going to pull one more card for you for love blocks. Anything that might be popping up here. And we have this star, and the star really is saying, hey, you might give too much. You might be so open and so giving and so loving, and so you might not take care of yourself. And I don't just mean this in a romantic way. I mean that this could be a love block for soulmateship, but the actions of giving too much could be to everyone. To, you know, your neighbor and your friend and the person who really takes just too much and requires too much of you, but you keep giving anyway, and you want to give and give and give. And you have to fill your own cup too. You have to give back to yourself as well. And sometimes you might need that cloak of the hermit. That's a good skill that you've been picking up. You know, that's okay. If you are really used to just sort of jumping in and being all in and being like, hey, you can see everything. I'll show you all my wounds. I'll give you all my vulnerability. I'll be all in on this. And if you do that with everyone, there are some people who might take advantage of that, or where you might need to see what is actually best for you. What is the best thing for you? That doesn't mean don't be yourself. You should 100% be yourself. Absolutely. But being fully yourself, and also giving back to yourself what it is that you need, setting any boundaries that you need to set for yourself too. And that's a good word there, is boundaries, setting any boundaries that you might need. I want to ask specifically about this person, about what we might be reading in your energy about this person. What might we be reading in your energy about this person? We have a helicopter going by. This might just be the loudest, like half hour, 45 minutes in the world. There are just so many sounds going on. I don't know what's going on. I always say outside sounds amplify the message, and boy, there just must be some pinging going off. There must be just some like, yep. Okay, here we go. Oh, hi, Queen of Wands. I love this popping up. I really love this popping up. This is so yummy. So we pulled the Queen of Pentacles as we were investigating the potential of this relationship on their end. And as we're investigating it on your end, this feels like all of these qualities, all of these things. If you feel some pressure to meet those expectations, also, it's important to know that they can see you this way, even if you don't feel it and accept it as your truth. You might say, "No, I'm not capable. No, I don't take care of everyone. No, I'm not growing all these things around me. Oh, I'm terrible with business or whatever." But they might see you and even lift you up to a new space of capability as well. But there is also within this relationship with this person a part of you that just gets absolutely lit on fire and passionate, purposeful, motivated, driven, assertive, joyful, optimistic, intuitive, and just really in your seat of power. This is a very powerful queen. This is a wonderful, powerful energy. I love our Queen of Wands. This is, I guess all the queens are my favorite queens, but I feel like every time I pull one, I'm like, oh, I love this queen. I love this and this energy. I love this energy for you. I feel like this is a very strongly motivated, forward moving version of you in this relationship. What else do we have for coming through for the potential of this relationship with this person? Now we also have the Three of Pentacles. I love this too. I love this because we pulled the Ace of Pentacles as a block for you. And we know that the Pentacles could possibly be something that that feeling of worth, of value, of capability, of being able, of the showing upness, of accruing, of investment. That idea that could be a little piece in there somewhere where it does feel tricky for you. There could be something in there that feels difficult and that is a little blocking, And with the Three of Pentacles popping up, it just says whatever that thing is, and like we said, this is anything of the earth. This is your human body. This is, health, wealth, money, items, whatever that thing is, but also those characteristics. You have help in this relationship. This is an architectural building card. It is like planning. And these are, these are wise people. They're planning together. They've got this. They can create this plan and build this thing of great worth together. Don't you love that? And don't you love how that just sort of lines right up with our Eight of Pentacles over here that we pulled in their energy for the potential of this relationship? I love it. I love it. Okay, continuing. I want to pull two last cards for you. So the two last cards I want to pull for you, first of all, I want to pull one card for an action item, something that can help you move forward past any of those blocks. If there's anything you need to do, an action item, anything that needs to get done, oh boy, there's big change that you need to make. There's something, and this is big, so this is something you need to make. So this is very tricky because I am guessing as soon as I said the word or the two words, big change, that doesn't feel good. and also if you know what it is, you're probably like, nah, I don't wanna. I understand because this is not comfortable. This is not a holiday spa vacation. This is, discomfort. This is burning it down. This is struck by lightning. This is, earthquake style change. It decimates something so something new can build. There's something very radical here. And there is something very radical that needs to shift in your life. And as this is coming through as an action item, it is in your hands. This is not something that happens to you. This is something you choose. And I'll say it again, this is not something that happens to you. We ask this as an action item for you to do for any of those blocks. This is something you choose, which is beautiful. You get the gift of choice. You don't have to sit in any kind of discomfort that is put upon you. It is a beautiful thing to choose your discomfort, to say, this is This is a choice I'm making willingly because I love myself and I want what's best for myself because I love myself so much. And I am willing to make a big change that is uncomfortable because boy, do I want to show up for her. Okay. Okie dokie. Let's pull one last card. I want to pull one last card that just is an open question. We don't know what the question should be. We don't even know to ask it. Just any guidance that is coming through for you. Any guidance that could be coming through for you. I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna keep moving. Okay. Okay. Guidance that might be coming in through for you. And we have the Nine of Wands. And hi, my Queen of Wands. You do have this fire energy. Let yourself heal. Let yourself gain the strength that you need to gain. You don't have to be, like this all-time world champion of a conquering whatever the things are that you might feel like you are really, really important. You just have to stand back up. Right now, that's all you have to do is just stand back up, It's getting back in the ring is, I don't know if you've done a reading with me before where I've pulled this card. This always makes me think of Rocky. I can't help it. It just makes me think of Rocky. He's been hit down. He got on he was on the floor. Then he decides to get back up. And that's where this is. This is hurt, but back up. And it's not 100%. This is, a little skittish, a little protective. This is some real fire energy, but this is back up. This isn't laid out on the ground. This isn't, like hitting the floor and staying down. And this is beautiful. And I also want you to acknowledge when you've gotten back up, the moments that you've gotten back up, where you are right now. I want you to acknowledge yourself for that strength. That is enough. You're doing just that takes in the movie. I can't remember the time I watched a Rocky movie recently, but you get that feeling in those movies, of like, oh, that's the moment. It's not even, the big knockout, or maybe it is that too. And you've got one of those coming too, but it's the getting back up. How exhilarating, how exciting. And that is winning. And that is main character, storyline, Okay, let's go ahead and pull over your main card here. Let's see what we've got for you right here that we pulled over as our anchor card originally. Hi, Queen of Swords. Well, I say I love all my queens. So far I have pulled 3 queens. I've pulled all four queens, but one of them is relating to this person's past as a potential block. Now, I've pulled 3 queens for you. This is sitting in your energy. You have this is in your energy in this relationship that we've pulled. This is in your energy right now. You have an incredible mind. You have an incredible, I want to say BS detector without cursing. You can cut right through and see the truth. You have a knowing, you have a clarity, you have an understanding, you have a seat of knowing and a seat of power. That is a truth. Now, when we get into things where we're getting into the moon, we're not seeing the truth on something's hidden from you, and you start perhaps maybe telling yourself lies about, I just don't know, I'm not sure, I don't know what to do, Know that you do. You have clarity. You have a great ability to have an incredible insight, to see the truth, to see what is good and what is bad and what is right and all of the things. You have a great seat of power. That. I'm going to leave you with that. Okay, to put a stamp on this, to say, hey, I watched this and I am with you, and you don't even have to say I'm going to, take any of this, but just to be like, okay, I'm here. I would love for you to go ahead and I want you to pop a lightning bolt below. That does not mean you're claiming the Tower card. It does not mean you're saying yes to whatever great big change you could take if you chose. It is just to like stamp this reading. I love you. Thank you for being here with me. I know this is a long reading. I appreciate you being here and getting all of the information. If you want to go deeper, there is a link below where you can we can go deep, even more. So I really, I'm sending you off. Can you please leave me some comments? I know a couple of you will be out there and leaving me some very detailed, vulnerable comments, and I would love that. But if you don't feel comfortable with that, then, whatever comment you wanted to share, I would love to hear. I would love to hear it. I'm sending you so much love. I'm sending you so much light. I'm just going to gather up a little of this lovely energy until I see your precious self again. Mwah. Mia.